Hello students. So today we are going to take some of the figures of speech based on contrast. Till now we have seen different figures of speech based on similarity, based on the structure in the sentence. We started, do you remember the first video when we started with figurative language and literal language? Then we saw the 7 main divisions of figures of speech. And then one by one in each video we have covered 4 figures of speech. In this video we are going to discuss 4 figures of speech which are based on contrast. Okay? Contrast means opposite, that is contradictory. So here, should we start? The first one, oxymoron. Oxymoron actually. It consists in placing side by side 2 words of opposite meanings for emphasis. Now, example, it is an open secret. Now, something which is secret is not open. Okay, so oxymoron, 2 contradictory words of opposite, 2 words of opposite meaning are placed side by side. And always remember, these words, contradictory words which are placed in the same sentence are used for a particular same person or thing. Okay? Other example, she is regularly irregular. She is regularly irregular. Irregular means she is not coming regularly. And regularly means she is always irregular. So here it is contradictory. 2 words placed side by side about the same person or a certain thing. Okay? Figure of speech is oxymoron. Is it clear now? Oxymoron, 2 contradictory words about the same person or thing is written for emphasis. Okay? Easy example as usual. I am reminding, always remember figure of speech by the examples. So it is an open secret or she is regularly irregular. Now antithesis. Now antithesis, why I am telling you first with oxymoron, because oxymoron and antithesis are somewhat similar. How? In oxymoron, 2 contradictory words. In antithesis, 2 contrasting ideas. 2 contrasting ideas. Anti means opposite. Anti means opposite. Thesis means idea. So 2 opposite ideas are placed in the same sentence. In the same sentence, not in the same phrase or not in the same part of the sentence like oxymoron. One idea contradicting the other is set against each other. Example, united we stand, divided we fall. 2 opposite ideas for emphasis using contradiction to highlight the what is being said. United we stand, divided we fall. Okay. Now, as I told, there is difference between oxymoron and antithesis. Don't get confused when seeing these both. Oxymoron, 2 contradictory words side by side about the same person or thing. Antithesis, 2 opposite ideas placed in the same sentence in different phases usually to highlight and emphasize the aspect which has to be pointed out. The other one is paradox. Now this is also this figure of speech is also related to contrast, but what is the difference? Let's see. Now it is a statement that is self-contradictory. It is a statement that is self-contradictory and absurd. Absurd means you find it amusing. What is being said means, for example, if you see the example, it will be very clear to you. India, the richest country of the world, is inhabited by the poorest people. At the first means we are saying that India is the richest country. But again we are contradicting what we said by saying that it has the poorest people living there. Okay? Figure of speech, paradox. Figure of speech is paradox, which is self-contradictory. What is being said is being contradicted. Okay? Something contrasting is said in the second part about the same. The richest man is a what? A poor miser? Yes. So depends what kind of sentence you are reading. Always remember what is paradox. In paradox, we contradict. We say just opposite of what has been explained. Very simple example I have given. India, the richest country in the world, is inhabited by the poorest people. Now the country which is richest, obviously even the people living there must be rich. But what we said, the people living in India are poor. Okay? I hope you might have understood the first three that we have taken. Oxymoron, opposite words, contradictory words. Antithesis, opposite contradictory ideas. Paradox, self-contradictory statement. What is being said in the starting is contradicted in the later part of the sentence. Now the last one related to this group, epigram. Now epigram is something which is really surprising, which is something which you will read twice to understand the meaning, to understand the underlying meaning which is there given in the sentence. So what is the explanation? A brief. Brief means a very short, pointed. It's like a proverb only. A brief, pointed saying which introduce antithetical ideas which excite surprise and arrest retention. Retention means you will remember the sentence for a very long time because it seems strange. But there is an underlying meaning there. When you will think over it, you will realize that it is true. It is not wrong. Okay? Failures are pillars of success. Failures are pillars of success. Now, this might seem something which is strange. You will read it twice to understand the meaning. How? Yes, it's when a person fails, it is only then he works with more zeal, he starts understanding his drawback and he starts again his run to success in a determined way. Yes? Other example, child is the father of man. Child is the father of man. Saints, do you find it correct? Yes. If you see it closely, if you read it 2 to 3 times, you will understand that though it might appear strange, when we read it first, it is quite correct. The figure of speech, epigram, a brief, pointed saying which might seem contradictory or something where a contradiction is used to arrest our attention and remember the thing for a longer time. Easiest example, child is the father of man. Child is the father of man. So, in this video, we saw how many figures of speech? We saw 4 figures of speech which are related to contrast. Okay? Which are based on contrast. Something which is opposite. Contrast, opposite. We started with oxymoron. I told you how to remember the examples and remember the keywords. When you say oxymoron, you should remember 2 contradictory words, 2 contrasting words, 2 words which are opposite, placed side by side that are used for same person or thing. Then we saw paradox. What is paradox? Paradox actually is a statement that is self-contradictory. What is being said in the first part is being contradicted. Just opposite is being said in the second part. Okay? Then we saw antithesis. Then we saw Antithesis, opposite idea. Anti, opposite, thesis, ideas. In oxymoron words, opposite words. In antithesis, opposite, ideas are placed in the same sentence. Not means in the same phrase, you can say. They are a part of the bigger sentence. Example, united we stand, divided we fall. And the last one that we saw, epigram, actually not very common. And whenever you come across epigram, you will certainly read the sentence 2 to 3 times to understand the real meaning of the statement given. Okay? It's a brief pointed saying just for retention, for what you say, where antithetical ideas are given just so that to excite surprise. But there is an underlying meaning to the statement given. I hope you might have understood all the 4 figures of speech that we took today, which are related to contrast. In the next part, we will see the remaining which are related to sound. Thank you.